Crisis Radio. And now, a little bit earlier than usual, we're going to turn to one of the standard, now traditional features of our broadcast, which is to get a report on the battle for the Constitution in one of the most relevant features of it, which is that pesky provision about the president having to be a natural-born citizen, guaranteed age 35 years or over. And I'm wondering now, as we look forward to the convention of the Tea Party in Nashville in the first week of February, whether that Dick Armey leadership there and Richard Mellon Scaife and the rest of those reactionary Republicans are going to allow any presentations on the question of the birth certificate and the lack thereof. And I'm wondering whether Dick Armey and Richard Mellon Scaife are going to invite our next guest, and that's, of course, Phil Berg, the founder of this movement, the one who took the first stand in August of 2008 at the Supreme Court before the Democratic National Convention even convened, and that's Phil Berg of Philadelphia. Welcome, Phil.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
I'm hoping
Happy
to get
New Year again, I think.
Do you have any contacts with the Tea Party people to get me invited?
Well, we hope that some of them are listening to this broadcast, and with some of the rank and file, of course, of this are honest people. And I think what I was just going through in an earlier segment, Obama duped the leftists in 07-08, and Dick Armey and Richard Mellon Scaife and this gang of Republican operatives are attempting to dupe and make these people into tools. In other words, the question for the Tea Party is essentially, will they think about a march on Wall Street? They've done marches on Washington, and that's fine. But now a march on Wall Street, a march on Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Bank of New York Mellon, and corollary to that is, are they willing to pick up this issue of the birth certificate? And I would urge them to do it. So why don't you imagine that you're talking to some honest Tea Party people and make the case?
Sure. I mean, first off, this is Phil Berg, and I did start this, and all the information you can find from our website, which is obamacrimes.com, OBAMACRIMES.com. You're talking about many issues of the Tea Party. You're talking about higher taxes, regulations, health care, different things. But stop. If I am correct, which I'm 1,000% sure I am, then Obama is a usurper. He doesn't belong in office. And if we remove him from office my way, with your support, all these other issues fall by the wayside. Now, some of your leadership doesn't want to get involved in the birth certificate issue, but it's the main issue. It's a rallying issue for everyone in this country, because all of you out there have to show your birth certificate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in your lifetime. And Obama has refused to show anything. And think about it. Now, also, in addition to that, he was adopted or acknowledged in his... He was adopted or acknowledged in Indonesia. And when he was, his name became Barry Soetoro. Therefore, if he hasn't legally changed his name since that time, every time he's used his name as Barack Hussein Obama, it's a fraud. He's a phony. And therefore, this is the way that we can get him out of office. I mean, think about it. Every time he signed his name in every one of the 50 states, it's a fraud, because many of you know people who have adopted children. The child takes your last name or their last name, and that's their legal name until they can, legally change it. So Obama is a hoax. It's the biggest hoax ever upon this country in the history of our country in over 230 years. He knows what's going on. We're not dealing with a dummy here. He went to Occidental College, Columbia University, Harvard Law School. He was head of the Harvard Law Review. When he graduated, he was an attorney, and he taught constitutional law for 10 years. He knows what he's about. I mean, think about it. Many of you have talked about having Arnold Schwarzenegger run for president in the past 10, 15 years, and what has he said? He has said, amend the Constitution. What has Barack Obama stated? Barack Obama has stated nothing, but basically he's saying, I don't care about the Constitution. I'm going to walk all over the Constitution. I'm going to destroy this country. So really, the rallying point is the birth certificate issue. The document they put up on the website, a certification of live birth, has been proven by our experts to be a fraud, to be a phony, to be altered. At the bottom of the document, it says if there's any alteration, the document is not valid. Well, that was put on their website in June 2008, 2 months before I even got involved in this. And why did they put it on their website? Because for a year before that, there had been word around that he was born in Mombasa, Kenya. Now, when he ran for the U.S. Senate in the debates, and it's published, they said, candidate here from Kenya. Go back and look at some newspaper articles that haven't been taken away. They're still out there. We have some posted on our website. The best place to go is obamacrimes.com. But please, everyone, the rallying point, not for me. I'm doing this for the 308 million people in this country. I'm doing this. There's over 220 million people over the age of 18. I'm doing this for our forefathers. But I'm doing this also for the 1.6 million men and women who died in the various wars over the years fighting to defend this Constitution, an additional 1.6 million who were injured or maimed in war. So we're talking about over 3.2 million people. Aside from the ones that served, these people have died or been wounded defending this Constitution. So if that's not a good rallying point, I don't know what it is. Unfortunately, there's too many people out there in leadership who want their own agenda. My agenda is to represent all of you. Even WorldNet Daily I'm not happy with. They're putting signs around the country which says, where's your birth certificate? What significant is that? If you're driving that road and you know nothing about this, and you saw that sign, you might think it has something to do with immigration. You would not think it has anything to do with Obama. But the sign should read, Obama, where's your birth certificate? So we'd like to raise enough money to put up real signs. Why won't WorldNet Daily do it? They say, well, the status is going to change with the new law. The new law changes in 2012. This is 2010. Give me a break. Bill Berg here, ObamaCrimes.com, is the rallying point. Hopefully I'll get invited to speak at the First National Tea Party Convention in Nashville, and I look forward to hearing from all of you.
So we should let a challenge go forth from this time and place to Dick Armey and that bunch of Republican consultants who have seized control over the Tea Party with the help of the big bucks from Richard Mellon Scaife and his Competitive Enterprise Institute. Not only should you have a march on Goldman Sachs in Wall Street, but you should have Phil Berg come and give the definitive presentation in Nashville in the first week of February about this. Phil, I just wanted to point out one other thing. The totalitarian tendencies of Obama, right? We have this guy, Cass Sunstein, who is the regulation czar, and the famous novelist Mark Estrin has put up on his blog this plan. It's an article from Cass Sunstein in the Learned Journal where he talks about cognitive infiltration of 9/11 truth. In other words, send government agents into chat rooms and doing postings on Internet websites to try to defeat conspiracy theorists, right? Conspiracy theorists always the target. So Cass Sunstein wants domestic covert operation, COINTELPRO, by government agents against 9/11 truth and presumably against any, quote, conspiracy theory, even though we heard from Richard Wolff last Monday night that the Obama administration itself thought that the Detroit Patsy, Muttalib on Christmas Day, was the result of a conspiracy, showing what's at stake.
Well, we got to keep fighting, and I'm out there. I was out in the forefront. Again, I don't care who crosses the finish line first, but I really think we have to all join together because separate they win, united we win. And we should unite around a common thing. I have no problem with your issues, but the big issue is you should unite with my issue because my issue is the issue for every American here. My issue is the Constitution, and there's nothing more important than our U.S. Constitution. And together we can put Obama where he belongs, in jail or being deported. And that's where he belongs, along with all the people around him that know of this fraud that they're putting across the citizens of this country. It's a disgrace.
Okay, so we'll see you. Let's make a hypothetical appointment in Nashville. Phil Berg needs to address that Tea Party convention, and we'll see you again next week, Phil. Keep on keeping on, and more power to you.
Thank you. ObamaCrimes.com. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And we'll be back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.